Hello, audience. We are back with another episode of Let's Talk About It. And I'm your girl, Bethel, and I'm here with my girls, Tammy, Moni, and Sandra. Say hey, ladies.
Hey.
Now, today we're here with a wonderful topic, airplane etiquette. I want to know, my question is there a certain type of way that one should behave while traveling on an airplane? I know that we've all had an experience with some type of unpleasantry on a plane. Somebody that had too much to drink, somebody that's just really loud. You have just shenanigans going on a plane. But is there an exact way that we should actually be acting on the plane? And if so, I have a video of a man that had a complete meltdown while on the plane. Now we're going to show you that video, and we're going to come right back and get your opinion on it.
Why is the baby yelling? I'm not screaming. You want me to scream? You want me to scream? I'll scream.
A man goes off on staff aboard a Southwest flight with a profanity-laced tirade because of a crying baby.
Bro, that child was a black baby. What the be happening right now? We're not in Florida yet. You want to be rational? No. We are in a tin can with a baby in a echo chamber, and you want to talk to me about being okay?
Okay, because you're yelling.
So is the baby!
We'll be right back in a minute. Okay, ladies. So here we have a grown man that had almost a nervous breakdown because it seemed to me that the man was trying to get rest on the plane, and he could not rest because there was a crying baby on the plane. And we've all been on planes when somebody's been crying. You got the little kids in the back kicking your seat. You know, I mean, at what point, how much of it are we supposed to take, or are we supposed to just sit there and just, because that's my thing. When I mean, if I have a little kid kicking me, because I've had that several times, kicking the back of my seat, I will just turn, excuse me, could you please stop that? Right. I've done that. I've had to do that. But in my mind, I don't think I should have had to do that, because don't you know if your child is right here with you, don't you know that your child is kicking that person's seat and you're not saying anything about it?
And be careful.
Some parents think that that's really okay because they're children, and they should be able to, and you should be able to understand that they're, fidgety or whatever, active or what have you. But I paid my good money to get on this airplane, and if it's time for me if I'm looking forward to taking a nap,
right, or working,
or I'm trying to get some work done on the plane before I mean, so how the man reacted, I mean, was that
no,
was that out of control, or was he well within his rights to break down? Could you keep your baby quiet?
I honestly
shut him up.
Can relate, because you don't never know anybody's mental state.
That's
You don't know what they've been through or what they're going through at the moment.
You don't.
And it can be something that can trigger as much as a baby crying. And babies cry, but they can be controlled.
Right.
It was like the baby wasn't being consoled.
And the parent did not care, because I mean, I believe that some parents think that the plane, nope, this is a baby and this is what babies do.
Right.
So, and some of them aren't even, but then you have some people like, shh, here, play with this, do this, do that, distracting the child, when others will just let their child be, like cry and disrupt the whole plane. I don't.
Level of courtesy.
Yes.
With your children.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, we're all traveling. You don't know how long I had to travel. I may have had a 5-hour layover. Then I got to get on this plane. Then you got these kids kicking the seat, crying. A person like myself, I suffer with anxiety. So something like that could just blow me off the top. And I'm ready to fight and cuss everybody out on the plane. So I can relate to that man because it was like a trigger for him. You know, and baby cry, everybody's baby cry. You can't say it's not your baby.
Right.
You know? And it could be the ugliest cry that's going to be like, oh my God, if you don't shut that baby up.
I'm like, kill somebody.
Yeah. So I can totally relate to that. But then, like, on the other end, okay, it's a baby.
Yeah.
I don't know how to console this baby. Some babies are uncontrollable.
And some parents don't know how to console their child.
Yeah.
So,
I think taking a baby on the airplane is wrong. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
First of all, not everybody think your child is cute. And not everybody have children. So they don't understand. But as to Moni's point, like, we don't know where he was coming from. Maybe the crying was aggravating him. Maybe he was traveling because he lost a loved one.
Maybe you don't know what.
Maybe that was,
you don't know their mental state.
You know what I mean?
You don't know.
Maybe the baby's ear popping too. There's a level of tolerance, right? When my daughter was younger and we would go to church and stuff like that, and some babies cry. After 5 or 10 minutes, while your baby crying, while the pastor's giving their sermon, I need, this is life-changing advice I need right now. Could you take your baby out? It's a certain level of tolerance.
And that's why the churches started to implement rooms where the mothers could go and they had a screen TV in there. You're going to have to watch the sermon in there because your baby is crying. We can't hear the pastor. So it's the same on the plane.
But on the airplane,
people come there, first of all, it's anxiety about being on a plane, flying. Period. How about you got somebody on there that's really afraid of flying? And that's me. I don't really particularly like flying. And then you're screaming and crying in back of me. Like, you know, again, we all have that level of tolerance.
Right.
But at the same time, the parent has, like when my kids were small, we did road trips. You know, I'm not about to get on the plane with you because you don't know. And that's the thing. But, you know, if you got to get across the country and you never know what happened, somebody passed away and you got to get there, you know, that might be the only rational mode of transportation for you to take to get you there at that certain point of time when you have to be there and all of that. But, I mean, I just feel like there should, just like it's a section for the babies in the church, they should have a section for them babies all the way in the back of the plane. You know what I mean? Parents with people that's traveling with small children, you gonna sit back there. Like, at least, I mean, we still can hear the baby, but, you know, we won't have to deal with the kicking and, you know, all of the things that the children are doing on the plane because it gets a little challenging.
Now, have you ever been somewhere where you guys didn't, whether it was a bus or plane or boat, and you turned around or were getting up to leave, and you're like, I didn't even know it was a kid on here.
Yes.
That was
because they know how, some people know how to have their children behave or what to do to keep them occupied, like Bethel said. But it seemed that everyone in that video was against this guy.
And I thought that was really unfair. I understood him. I'm like, he had enough. Like, everybody can't tolerate a screaming child.
That's true.
And then you're attacking this man because he's not sympathetic to that. But should I be sympathetic to your kid? Like you said, that's not my kid. It's not my kid. I'm sympathetic that you have children and that you have a young. But everybody, and I'm going to tell you, everybody can't parent. Like you said, everybody can't control their child.
That's true.
I mean, we see it all the time in stores. Kids, I hate you, you know, to their parents. And you're saying, oh God, how can that parent you start blaming the parent? In my mind, like, do something with your child like that, because if your child is acting like that towards you out in public, my mother would give us the talk before we went out. Don't you dare
don't do nothing.
embarrass me. You don't ask for anything. You keep your mouth quiet. You know what I mean? We had these talks. Well, some parents don't do that. You know what I mean? Everybody raised their parents, but everybody shouldn't be, you know, have to be affected by the fact that you don't know how to parent your child, but because he's going to be a burden to everybody on the plane in public places.
When you're on a plane.
The restaurants also, they act up in the restaurants too. The children.
And the parent, like you said, you will turn around and say, "Oh, could you please stop that?"
Or you see a child in the restaurant, the child is right here running around, and really sit that child down. This is a restaurant.
But you can't say something to some of the parents.
You can't say nothing.
Because then you be on the airplane. That's where some of them fights come from. Now I'm fighting you. I'm already scared to be up here. He's 32,000 feet, and one of us gonna have to get it. You know, so
Yes.
You really don't
But
know.
I feel like the severity of on the airplane, it gets crazy because everybody don't pay the same price for your seat if you know it or not.
That's right.
You know, so a lot of times when you're traveling, it's for peace.
Yes.
You want to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You could have had I had an 8-hour layover in Paris, and then a 7-hour flight to rest of the way to home.
Oh yeah,
So,
coming from Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody had a dog. Almost blew me berserk.
Especially if you don't like dogs, if you're allergic. See, you have a dog, and it's probably because you have some type of disability or something like that. You get on, but do they let you know as the passenger that you paid all this money? I'm going to Africa, and and let you know there's going to be a dog on this flight. Do you have any allergies?
Right.
How about I got up there and blew up? My face is swelled up from because you have a dog on here.
Yeah.
But shouldn't you let us know
They
this?
don't let you know. Right. Then the dog wasn't quiet.
Barking.
I mean, he whined,
oh my
God. And barked, and the whole 7.5 hours. Could you imagine?
Yeah,
it was a bit much, but I didn't react like that. Man, I could have.
Right.
What would people think?
You didn't
Was
act
I
like that,
wrong?
man, but you saying you could understand.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I wouldn't have really act like that man either, but I could understand. You got some people that don't have a tolerance for much of anything.
Right. Yeah.
And like you said, we don't know people's mental state.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't know people's mental state. A crying baby, it could have triggered something.
Yeah.
You saw the Rain Man with the Rain Man what was it called? It was called Rain Man.
Rain Man.
Yeah, with who was it?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise
Hoffman.
and Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
The baby was crying, and it had something to do with the tub and the hot water and all that, and he would just go berserk. This man couldn't take sounds. He couldn't take anything. You don't know what a person is going through. They could have a touch of autism,
Right. Yeah.
and throw them off.
It'll trigger.
Okay, they can't deal with a lot of sound. Because had somebody got triggered and really been up and down that aisle, you would have had to land that plane.
Yeah, sure would have.
You had to land that plane. So, like Moni said, I believe it's a certain courtesy.
Yeah.
If you know you're gonna be traveling, you have young children. It is the parents' responsibility to keep their child in check, keep them as quiet as possible because flights are supposed to be quiet. They don't say it, but it is.
It's bad enough you got to deal with turbulence. Like,
Yes. People are praying on that plane. People are
I'm
praying.
still, Jesus take the wheel.
Yes.
Right.
My last flight from Vegas last weekend, everybody thought the plane was going down because we was in the middle of a storm.
Oh my.
And the turbulence was just crazy. And I'm on there praying like, Jesus, please just get us through get us through this. Safely, take the hands of, of the pilot.
Imagine all of that going on in that baby
you could
screen.
feel it in your,
inside.
like you on a roller coaster ride.
Yes.
That's how deep.
The turbulence was bad.
Oh, it was bad. It was bad. Everybody thought the plane was gonna go down.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it happened to us one time. My mother's first, what was it? Her first flight, her second flight on the airplane. One of the engines went out. We had to turn around and go back, and you can tell that engine went out too. Like I mean, when the man said that, we thought it was over. Like one of the engines is out. Oh my God.
Yeah, they
And it
shared
had a
way
lot
too
of
much information for
And
me.
we knew
Up
the
and
pilot,
down.
Our pilot was scared. He didn't say a word. You know how most pilots be like, "Oh, buckle your seatbelt." Yeah. I mean, I was the first person to stand and clap when that plane landed.
Yes.
And everybody followed.
Yes.
I stood and clapped, was like, "Thank you, Jesus." We made it.
We came back from Germany one time. It was like that. Everybody got off and kissed the ground. I said, people really kiss the ground? When you
But you never think you're gonna make it again.
Yeah. So, audience, let me know, what do you think about airplane etiquette? Should parents have control of their children in courtesy of all the other passengers? Or should we just let babies be babies and deal with it? Hit us up and let us know, okay? We'll be back in a minute. Up next is Moni's health tips.
Hey guys, welcome to My Health Matters with Moni. So I want to talk to you today, and I'm glad you're here because in today's society and economy, inflation and everything that's going on, I know there's a lot of you that are struggling financially. So we want to talk about financial health. So there's a way to try and get that together. All right. So I'm going to give you some tips today to become more financially healthy. Okay. And we need financial health because if you're not financially healthy, you're worried about this, that, and the third, money wise, how it's going to get done. So, and in that lies stress. And stress is the number one killer in the United States. It's a silent killer. Let me rewind. It's the number one silent killer here in the U.S. Okay. So what I want you guys to start doing, for those of you that are working a 9 to 5, you get paid bi-weekly, weekly, whatever the case may be. You want to start taking at least 10 to 15% and pay yourself first. And when I say pay yourself first, you're not going to spend the money right away. You're going to put it away into a compound interest account that is going to accumulate over the course of years. It's going to grow. Your money's going to grow. So that way, when you retire or you reach an age where you don't want to work anymore, you have funds saved. Okay. So you're going to put that away and not touch it. All right. Secondly, you're going to take at least 50 to 60% each check, and you're going to put that towards your mortgage, your rent, your car note, those major expenses that is important for survival, right? So you're going to put that away. Then you're going to take at least 10% and use that as your fund. And your fund, just 10%, your fund, all right? Because we have a liability as Americans to use our pay for the fun stuff and not take care of the hard stuff, right? So you're going to take 10% and use that as a fund to take care of you and your children. And I guarantee if you create that and make that a habit in your daily life, things are going to change. You're going to feel things moving a little bit smoother, but you got to stick to the plan at hand, all right? So, being a financial coach and in my years, that's something I know that works. Okay. And I'm going to have my email posted for you guys in the end at the credit. So if you have any questions regarding where to go, what to do, as far as the compound interest and things like that, you want to email me, ask me the question, and I'll answer it the best way I know how for you guys. And that's that. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Again, I'm Moni. This is My Health Matters, and I'll see you guys next time.
We're back with Tammy's Spotlight. Tammy, I know it's a great one today. Who do you have for us?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Bethel. Hey fam, it's your girl Tam. And today I have for you an update. Love my drip. When I tell you they stepping up, okay? So you know how you like to have parties and you want it to be something that everybody go, ooh, that's a party. That's like Tammy, or that's like put your name, like something different. Love my drip has done a wonderful thing for my niece and nephew, twins that turned 10. When I tell you that they had personalized snacks. So remember back in the day, well, it ain't been that far, but remember we used to have these chips called Homegirls, and I was excited because it was little black kids on the packages. They was a little sweet chip, but I felt like, hey, it's representing us. Imagine you got your snacks at your child's or your birthday party, whatever type of event, graduation, wedding, anniversary, whatever. And all the snacks have your photo on it. And you know how you would turn it and it might have the ingredients or something. This would have facts about the person. Like, for example, if it was, say for me, a picture of me on the front and name the bag, whatever I want to name it. And then on the back, it might let you know something like, hey, I'm in a double nickel club, 55. Or, my favorite color is blue and royal blue and this, that, and other. Just personalize. You can't get no better than that. They know they came to your party. I'm telling you, I don't even want to eat the snacks because it's the picture for me, Now, check them out. Love my drip. Oh my God, they are really stepping it up. So I'm gonna show you some photos, and at the end, you'll see how to contact her. Love my drip. Now, when you do, don't you dare forget to tell them you saw them here on Let's Talk About It. Here it is. Peace.
Here we go.
Coming to us with a wonderful segment is Ask Miss Sandra.
Hey guys, I'm just jamming to this imaginary music. You don't hear it, but I'm still bopping to what's left in my brain. Hi, how are you? It's good to see you guys. Let me not get too close to the fire coming from that fireplace. Woo! This is a blend, child. Sparks be flying. How are you? Thank you for joining me in another episode of Ask Miss Sandra. Somebody want to ask Miss Sandra something? I don't know. Maybe you think I got good advice. I don't know. I hope so. Thank you again for joining me here in this segment of Ask Miss Sandra. Thank you for writing into Let's Talk About It. All right, so we're going to get into it and we're going to talk about it. Okay, we have Chevron. Chevron, beautiful name, writing in from Dallas, Texas. Chevron writes, dating a woman with kids is a no-go for me. Am I wrong? Chevron, I don't blame you. I don't really blame you, and I'm a woman with kids, It's okay. Let me just state, no, that's your preference. It's not a prejudice, it's a preference, I'm assuming, and that's cool. First of all, not everybody likes kids, right? Not everybody thinks somebody else's kids are beautiful, okay? Shout out to everybody in the audience. Not everybody thinks your children are beautiful. All right, but let's get back into it. Okay, so Chevron writes, dating a woman with children is a no-go for him. Chevron, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. Sometimes things can get skewed, they can get complicated. What if the kids start to like you and you don't necessarily like their mom or their dad or what have you, or whatever, things can get a little sticky. First of all, children in general, that subject, I try to keep my mouth off of other people's children just because it is, it just is what it is, those are like fighting words. What you say about my child? We're not doing that. We're not doing that. But sometimes you can become, attached and that you don't see the relationship going anywhere and you have to end it. And just because you know how attached kids can get in a situation, it's just like, why even put them through that? Or if I'm not really feeling their parent, like, why get into it? And then you have some people who are just like, the reason why I don't want to date somebody with kids is because I like attention. I need all the attention on me. And if they have kids, all the attention will not be on me. And it's okay to state that. It's okay to think that, like, it's a bit selfish, right? I don't really want to use the word selfish because, first of all, some people think it comes with bad, just bad vibes. Oh, you're selfish or whatever. You could be selfless in one thing and selfish in something else, right? So it just is what it is. But you definitely got to know your boundaries. Now, with that being said, Chevron, so I guess my question back to you, and feel free, you can, write back into me. Is it women or a man having a child that are certain ages? Because if you're dating someone of a particular age and they have grown kids, that's not technically children, especially if they're out the house, right? So there's even an age limit, to that or what have you. But I would like to hear more from you, Chevron. Thank you so much for
writing in to Ask Miss Sandra. And I'll be out in Texas later on in the year. So Dallas is one of our destinations. So thank you again. I hope this helps. And thank you all for tuning in again on Ask Miss Sandra.
And we're back. And we've come to the end of another episode, ladies and gentlemen. But it was great. It was great seeing you here. We thank you for coming out. And my prayer for you, as always, is to stay encouraged. To keep pursuing. Keep pressing on. Don't give up.
And I'm your girl Tam. Don't forget, if you have a talent you'd like for me to spotlight, hit us up and let us put you on the show. Okay.
You have something on your heart, your mind, you need to get it off your chest. Come on, talk about it.
And remember, if you were looking for us, our name is our address.
And we'll see you back here again on Let's Talk About It.